Hello everyone and welcome to the Duel. Today I'm going to showcase my Tri-Brigade Melffy deck profile. With Tri-Brigade receiving no hits in the recent banlist, this deck is definitely one of the best mid-range decks you can play. Friendly reminder before we start to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and without further ado, let's dive right into the deck profile. We're going to start things off with triple copies of Rescue Cat. This card is such an amazing power starter in the deck because it allows you to get 2 beasts directly from the deck. You usually want to special summon Kit and another level 2 in order to send her to the graveyard and activate her effect to search another Tri-Brigade. Also, Infinite Impermanence and Effect Failure are falling out of favor in this format, so you have so many more chances to have this effect resolved. Now moving on to the Tri-Brigade lineup, we're playing triple copies of Tri-Brigade Fractal. This is one of the best starters in the deck because it allows you to foolish for any Tri-Brigade monster that you need to the graveyard, especially Kit, and then Nerval and add any missing pieces that you need. And with Thank You we play 4 copies of it. Of course we're playing the triple copies of Tri-Brigade Kit, and the amazing thing about here is the fact that it's a level 2 and a beast as well, so you can easily go into rank 2 Xyz using Kit. Also when she's detached as material from an Xyz monster, her effect triggers in the graveyard. You can have a follow-up during your opponent's turn as well. Moving on, we're also playing the triple copies of Tri-Brigade Nerval because when it's sent to the graveyard, it allows us to search for any Tri-Brigade except itself. Sadly, he's the weakest by itself, but when you have another Tri-Brigade in your hand, he's an amazing card to have. Now moving on to the last Tri-Brigade in the deck, we're playing double copies of Tri-Brigade Keras. As you will see later in the combos, the fact that he's a level 2 and Earth is really handy for some awesome plays. I know you saw the title of the video, but we're only playing a single copy of Melffy Puppy and double copies of Kalintosa. Now before you close the video, having access to Puppy is really easy, and we can easily search it during our combos. And this is the most competitive version of the Melffy Tri-Brigade, so having multiple bricks is really bad for the deck's consistency. Now I'm also including 2 cards that you might not be familiar with. I'm playing a single copy of Aleriphon and 1 copy of the Fabled Cerebral. Now both of these cards are really great, especially the Cerebral because we can send it to the graveyard with the effect of Keras, and if it's sent to the graveyard we can revive it back to the field, and he's also a tuner, meaning that this version of the deck has access to Herald of the Arclight, a card that is an Omni Negate that other Tri-Brigade versions don't have. I will show you some awesome combos on the end of the video. Now hands down the best card in the deck is triple copies of Obedience Cult. Now if you control no monsters you can special summon 3 level 2 beasts from the deck, but their effects are negated. The only drawback with this card is that it locks you into beast for the rest of the turn, but we can create some really impressive boards. Now the last 2 cards in the main deck is 1 copy of Cold by the Grave and 1 copy of Fire Formation Tanky. Cold by the Grave is really essential in the deck because it allows you to stop any pesky hand traps. We're also playing triple copies of Tri-Brigade Revolt. This is such an amazing power card because it allows you to bring back 4 Beast Warrior and Winged Beast monsters from the grave or banished pile, and then immediately after that link summon to the Tri-Brigade monster, meaning that you can special summon the boss monster of the deck, Tri-Brigade Sureg, and banish 1 card your opponent controls. Now moving on to the hand trap lineup, we're playing 12 of them, and the first one is Nibiru the Primal Being. Now since you have many interruptions in the deck, Nibiru is another great interruption because it allows you to either trade for a negate your opponent has, or wipe their entire field. Now moving on, we're playing triple copies of Effect Veiler. This is a really powerful card that can shut down your opponent Verti Anaconda or their Christian Hulky Fibrex and essentially end their turn. And it's such an amazing pair, especially if you have Nibiru alongside it, so you can wipe their field. Now moving on, we're also playing triple copies of Cypherem Gear Gamma and a single copy of Driver. This is such a powerful card because it punishes your opponent really hard for activating monster effects, and it summons 2 bodies on the field. Also, if you happen to draw the Driver, you can easily put him back into the deck with the effect of Erijit or Bear Brew. And the last card that we have in the main deck is triple copies of Infinite Impermanence. This card is such an amazing interruption because it allows you to use it either defensively or offensively, and if your opponent tries to Scythe lock you while you have no monsters on the field, you can easily negate the Scythe on the field. Now let's move on to the extra deck. We're of course playing the single copy of Salaman Great Almiraj because it allows us to link off either Kit or Nerval and activate their effects in the graveyard. We're also playing the single copy of Double Dragon Lords because it allows us to bounce back cards our opponent controls, and we're also playing triple copies of Tri-Brigade Ferijit, the Baron Blossom, because it allows us to easily link off any monster that we don't need on the field, and at the same time it allows us to play under the restriction of Obedience Cult, so this is why you have to maximize on the copies of this card. Now moving on, we're also playing the single copy of Bear Broom because we can easily search the Tri-Brigade Revolt using this card, and you don't need more than 1 copy. We're also playing the single copy of Tri-Brigade Rugal because it allows us to easily link Lipe to access code and not your opponent after that. And for the boss monster of the deck, we're playing double copies of Tri-Brigade Sureg, the Ominous Omen, because it allows us to banish a card our opponent controls without targeting, and when he's sent to the graveyard, we can search for any Tri-type monster that we need. Moving on to the last link 4 monsters that we play, we're playing a single copy of Pollusa above the Goddess, 1 copy of Access Code. Pollusa is part of the combo and we can easily make her to play around cards like Nibiru, while Access Code is really amazing going second. Now moving on to the Xyz lineup, we're playing a single copy of Joyce Melffy and 1 copy of Ronin Raccoon. Joyce Melffy, as you can see later in the combos, is 2 interruptions during our opponent's turn, and we can use Ronin either offensively or defensively to generate a token that can get over our opponent's threats, or use it for the synchro plays that we can easily make the Naturia beast. In this version of the deck I'm not including Zeus, but you could easily fit it in. For the synchro monsters in the deck, we're playing a single copy of Herald of the Archetype, one copy of Naturia Beast. After that, I'm going to showcase the combos and how you can easily make either of these cards. But Naturia Beast is such a powerhouse, especially in this format, because it can shut down the adventure token package from getting off. Also, Herald is a floodgate that prevents your opponent from using droplets. And let's jump into the first combo. For this combo, all we're gonna need is Obedience Cult. We're going to activate Obedience Cult and then special summon 3 beasts on our side of the field. We're going to specifically special summon Kit, 1 copy of Kalentosa and 1 copy of Melffy Puppy. Also, don't forget to send Obedience Cult to the graveyard. We're going to link away Kit and the 1 copy of Kalentosa for our Fairy G to the Barren Blossom. This is going to trigger the effect of Kit in the graveyard in order to send a copy of Nerval to the graveyard. This way we can easily search for any Tri-Brigade that we need. In this instance we're going to search for a copy of Keras. But you could easily search for another copy of Kit so you can have follow-up in the next turn. Now we're going to use the effect of Fairy G to the Barren Blossom to special summon Keras to our side of the field, and then we can use his effect, banishing 2 for cost from the graveyard, so we can easily special summon the copy of Bearbroom. Keep in mind that Bearbroom has a second effect that you can discard 2 cards from the hand and revive back one of your banished Tri-Brigade monsters. We're not going to use it now, but you can extend even further if you want. Now we have 2 level 2 beasts in the field that we can easily overlay for a copy of Joyous Melffy. During your opponent's turn, you can put Joyous Melffy back into the extra deck and then special summon the copy of Kalentosa and the copy of Melffy Puppy from the grave. We're also going to link away the Bearbroom and the Fairy Jit for another Fairy Jit and then search for a copy of Revolt. So that's the end board, only using 1 card. And this is going to be the Naturia Beast combo. We're going to start things off with Obedience Cult and special summon 3 beasts from the deck. We're going to need Valeriphon specifically for this combo. We're going to overlay Kit and the Fabled Monster for a copy of Ronin Raccoon, and then detach Kit in order to activate the effect of Ronin Raccoon, and then special summon a level 1 Earth Beast monster to our side of the field. At the same time, the effect of Kit triggers in the graveyard to send a copy of Nerval and search as a copy of Keras. Now I'm going to special summon the token that I forgot to special summon before. Now since we haven't normal summoned yet, we can normal summon a copy of Keras, and then we can use this effect to banish 2 cards from the graveyard in order to special summon a copy of Bearbroom. Keep in mind that we can special summon Beast due to Obedience Cult. Now since we have an Earth Tuner and 2 other Earth monsters on the field, we can synchro all of them away for a copy of Naturia Beast. So the only spell our opponent can use is Dark Ruler No More or Droplets, discarding a monster. Lastly, we're going to link away Bearbroom and the copy of Ronin Raccoon for a copy of Fairy the Barren Blossom. This way we're going to trigger the effect of Bearbroom to search for a copy of Revolt. Keep in mind that you have to put a card back into the deck after that. This board is really powerful, especially against decks like Invoked or Sky Strikers that rely heavily on spells. Now moving on to the last 2 card combo. We're gonna start things off with Rescue Cat and activate her effect to send her to the graveyard in order to special summon 2 level 2 beasts. We're gonna special summon Valeriphon since we don't need it in the deck anymore, and then special summon a copy of Kid as well. Now we're going to link off both of them away to special summon a copy of Fairy-Jit the Barren Blossom, and at the same time we're going to activate the effect of Kid in the graveyard in order to send a copy of Nerval. Fairy-Jit is really essential because it allows us to special summon any Tri-Brigade that we need from the hand. Now when Nerval is sent to the graveyard, he's going to trigger his effect to search for a copy of Fractal. In this combo we're going to need 4 Tri-Beasts in the graveyard, so we can special summon Omen with the effect of Fractal and then search for any Tri-Beast that we need. Now we're going to trigger the effect of Fairy-Jit and special summon Fractal from the hand, and then we can use this effect to banish all the 4 cards that we have in the graveyard to special summon a copy of Shuraig the Ominous Omen. Now you could link away the Shuraig and Fractal for a copy of Bearbroom so you can search for Revolt and have another interruption, but in this instance we're going to use all of them for a copy of Appaloosa. After that we can trigger the effect of Shuraig the Ominous Omen in the graveyard in order to search for a copy of the Fabled Cerebell, so this way we have the monster that we need in order to send to the graveyard. If you opened with Cerebell, you can easily search Keras. Now we can use Keras effect in order to send Cerebell to the graveyard and special summon to the other side of the field. And if the Fabled monster is discarded, you can special summon itself back to the field. Now we can use the effect of Keras in order to banish 2 monsters to special summon a copy of the Double Dragon Lord. This way we can establish another interruption during our opponent's turn. Now with the rest of the bodies on the field, we can special summon a copy of Herald of the Archetype. This is going to be pretty much our end board. Our opponent has to use monsters on the field in order to use droplets, and we also have 3 monster effect negates, 1 Omni negate and 1 bounce. And this wraps up today's deck profile. If you enjoyed the video or you want to see more, let me know in the comments down below. This is certainly one of the most interesting variants of Tri-Brigades, and despite the cute aspect of the deck, this version provides more interruptions and multiple points for your opponent to interact with. Also, if you want to join my server, the link is in the description down below, and if you want to support the channel in any way, shape or form, you can find the links there. Until next time, hope you all stay safe, and I will see you in the Shadow Realm.